Honestly, a little hard to describe just because I've never had an eye for art other than it was definitely weird and alien. Just because I write poetry and have an interest in human language. Disclaimer, sorry for the incoming long post, but also please understand extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof, and when you have genuine contact with the NHI, then if this isn't verifiable proof I what is so please hear me out. Also really shaking you right now and had to come here while my memory was still as fresh as possible to post ASAP, so this was all as I was immediately remembering it. Just heard it at NHI for the first time and it was honestly the wildest experience. Where do you go from here? Who do you share your experiences with? Honestly, a little afraid, and now I actually understand ontological shock for sure, because holy bleep, the crazy thing is I know I'm already used to having gradually reached higher states of consciousness over time via exposure to Eastern philosophy through Alan Watts, helping me to manage the symptoms of borderline long before I even realized I had it. Literally just through the intellectual concepts alone and via the use of psychedelics when I was a young reckless kid before I even knew anything about Buddhism or Hinduism bleep, and I'm already used to higher level informational states since I'm neurodivergent, since it's required for my brain to utilize, catalog, and structure things in a way that I'm functional bleep. But this bleep was like nothing I've ever seen. I was laying on the couch trying to fall asleep and funny enough couldn't even sleep. Had a long day so was still wide awake just looking at these string Christmas lights the previous tenants left up for me for light, along with a couple lights since there were no overhead lights in the apartment when I started thinking about it, and I literally saw it bleep materialize right in the corner. At first I thought my eyes were tricking me because it looked a little smoky / foggy, and then I wondered if maybe I hadn't left a cannabis ash smoldering in the ash pile I keep accumulating my South Korean friend's dad used to call it the old black and tan, so I always keep it for a rainy day just in case lol, cause there have been a couple times it kept shouldering till it almost burned my apartment down bleep. One time it melted all the way through the top of the Chinese food container I had upside down as an ashery where it was still shouldering in bottom part by the time I realized bleep, but then I remembered I had actually just taken a large quantity of edibles to try falling asleep, and since I just took a heaping spoonful of infused honey it was really dosed out and definitely may have overshot bleep. But then it was like my brain just had this information download where it kept flipping back and forth between two alternate but parallel realities, one atop the other. Both the normal everyday reality governed by the benevolent conscious entities superimposed on top of the parallel reality governed by the malevolent one. Then out of nowhere it just physically materialized through the cloud into a flickering saucer, but kind of like one mushroom head on top of the other with the exaggerated curves and everything like a cartoon bomb shape where it flares out at the end, dull metallic in color and probably the diameter of a basketball. I could even see the reflection of the lights in it. Then right after it physically manifested, I got another informational download where I saw every single CIA paper released starting from Project Stargate, probably since I was just reading about Uri Geller today lol, then MKUltra, then the recent UAP Pentagon paper about the effects of targeted microwave radiation interfering with our thoughts and Havana syndrome, which I also just learned about today, which explains why that was probably the last one. Because whatever higher intelligence exists must need to work within my consciousness substrate to interface. But crazy thing was it was like I literally saw the image of each one flash across in succession, like I could actually see it. Yeah, though it was also just like the superimposed reality states again, only in my mind's eye this time, which felt like had been hijacked by the entity paralyzing me with fear like sleep paralysis. Then I saw a code in these weird geometrical shapes which were honestly a little hard to describe just because I've never had an eye for art other than it was definitely weird and alien. Just because I write poetry and have an interest in human language, culture, etc., and just like reading about it online out of curiosity, I could tell for sure it was definitely some language, though not just pretty pictures lol. I mean, I know I've definitely seen similar shapes before, but can't remember where. Maybe it's some offshoot at ancient Sumerian hieroglyphics. Definitely about to look more into it, though, or maybe someone here is an archaeologist or something and knows more about this than I do. Otherwise, I'm just kinda scared though. I mean, if these things can really just drop in at any time, I think I actually am having ontological shock. Holy bleep, now I get it. Can anyone out there maybe help point me in the right direction? What to do next? Snapped a handful of pictures of the corner with the Christmas lights, but the weird thing is I can't get a songable picture of them all how they actually look. Every picture has these weird bands going across it like some kind of interference pattern, and something is still cloaking itself there, making it so I can't get a clear photograph. But honestly, could be some kind of frequency. Does anyone out there know Morse code by chance? On one hand, I'm afraid it will funst me again, but on the other hand, could really use some experts in this field to help me out, maybe meet some other experiencers or people with more experiences, since I'm sure my therapist won't be able to help me with this one. Bleat.